Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our city council meeting. I'd ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Here.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Here.
Councilmember Ward,
Here.
Councilmember Wirtz,
Here.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Here.
Councilmember Sears,
Here.
Councilmember Dewey is absent. I apologize.
No problem at all. We will skip and go straight down to public comments.
The public comments portion of the meeting is an opportunity for the city council to listen to comments from citizens. It is not a question and answer session, and the city council will not respond to comments or answer questions during this period. The mayor may refer any matter brought up to the city council to the chief administrative officer or city clerk if action is needed.
Thank you. Do we have anyone wishing to speak?
Mayor and council, we have a request to speak from Dwayne Orr.
Thank you. Could you pass out the information that I gave, please? Thank you. I'll try to do this. Can I take my mask off to speak? I'll try to do this as fast as I can. It's right at 3 minutes. It is an honor to stand here before you on behalf of the Kirkwood Fire Department Union and Local 2665. My name is Dwayne Orr, and I'm a firefighter with the Kirkwood Fire Department. I've been here 30 years in March. The reason I'm here tonight is to update the citizens of Kirkwood and the honorable city council members and mayor on the status of current negotiations regarding pay between the city of Kirkwood and the Kirkwood Fire Department Local 2665. I am asking the council to please review this data and come up with a meeting time where they can help us get this further along. Over the past month, the Kirkwood Firefighters Local 2665 and the City of Kirkwood representative have been negotiating a new contract between the two parties as the collective bargaining agreement, which expired on December 31st, 2021. After 3 separate meetings with the city administration, the Kirkwood firefighters and the City of Kirkwood failed to ratify a new collective bargaining agreement. The major point of contention was the firefighters' perspective was the City of Kirkwood's inability to provide competitive pay for firefighters in Kirkwood. Significant detailed data was provided by the firefighters to city administration in an attempt to prove that the firefighters are being underpaid when referenced with every other comparable fire department in the area. Data on comparable municipalities was provided by to the city administration. It was comprised of 6 neighboring cities. These cities varied in population, number of engine houses, personnel, and square mileage. Of the 6 neighboring cities, Kirkwood ranked largest in population, highest in number of engine houses, had the most fire personnel, and encompassed the largest square mileage of coverage. Shockingly, however, Kirkwood ranked the lowest in pay. In fact, even despite a recent 2.5% cost of living adjustment, our fire department ranks lowest in pay among the comparable munis. We're number 7 out of 7. Within the last 5 years, Kirkwood Fire Department has taken the resignation of 11 individuals, 7 of which went to be employed by fire districts. The number one reason these firefighters left the Kirkwood Fire Department was inferior pay. The Kirkwood Fire Department has been falling behind in pay compared to other fire departments for the past decade. And as of this date, the city administration has failed to negotiate a fair and competitive wage. I don't need to remind anyone here that the city of Kirkwood and the Kirkwood Fire Department are both thought of as leaders in government and municipal services and a top destination in St. Louis County. I would also go as far to say that the citizens of Kirkwood will no doubt tell you that Kirkwood is the top city in St. Louis County. However, the fact is that the city of Kirkwood has been reactionary and far from a leader regarding Kirkwood Fire Department pay scale over the past decade. Kirkwood Fire Department's credo to save lives and property. My job is always to be ready when called and to mitigate whatever issue a citizen in need might have. The loss of institutional knowledge is a bad thing in public safety. The experience that I continue to gain by working for the Kirkwood Fire Department makes the citizens safer the longer that I am employed here. You can imagine that most workers are better at their job with more time and experience. Most estimates say that Kirkwood Fire Department stands to lose approximately 15 of 51 members in the next 5 years. If in addition, we incur additional loss of employees going to other fire departments or other fire districts with better pay, this will put us in a real bind. This is not safe for the citizens of Kirkwood, but also detrimental to the mental and physical health of the Kirkwood Fire Department. Without an adequate pay adjustment, the Kirkwood Fire Department will likely continue to fall behind and be treated as nothing more than a stepping stone to other departments. Or worse, it won't even be considered to apply when there is a job opening. The citizens of Kirkwood could potentially suffer a decrease in their fire service and EMS responses accordingly. The old adage, you get what you pay for, is not something you want to hear about public safety. In conclusion, I'm really here today on behalf of the safety of the citizens of Kirkwood, as well as the behalf of my other firefighters, myself, my family, and the future of Kirkwood Fire Department. I'm here today to ask for your help with our pay. I'm here today with the hopes of making the Kirkwood Fire Department a first choice destination for people. It's an honor to serve as one of your firemen. Thank you for your time. I ask to please reach out if you need any more data regarding the pay for the firefighters in St. Louis County. We have that information and it's available for your review. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you.
Mayor and council, there are no other comments at this time.
All right, we will move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Go to unfinished business, which there is none. Go to new business, Bill 10910.
Mayor and council, this is an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission's STP Urban Program Agreement for the awarded Surface Transportation Program STP 5502-614 South Clay Avenue Improvement Project.
Is there a motion for approval?
Motion.
Second? Second. Questions or comments on the motion? Councilmember Gibbons.
When will this start?
Chris would probably be the best person to answer that question.
Construction of this project is anticipated to start in 2025. We would do design work starting in by a year from now. But construction wouldn't start until 2025.
I don't think this is jumping ahead, but the next one is also right in the same area as, in other words, if both this and the next one on Clay are at the same, I'm sorry, on Kirkwood Road at the same time, there's areas where they would both be torn up at the same time, possibly.
We would work to schedule that in a manner that they would not be conflicting.
Okay.
Go ahead. Are you finished, Councilmember Gibbons?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So if design is going to be a year from now, I know we've been working hard on basically working on design in collaboration with residents and getting their input. That be also taken into account with this.
Yes, so yeah, we'll have a public engagement meeting. It's required by the grant to have a public engagement meeting on this project, as well as the other one. Yeah.
Councilmember Ward.
Yeah, Chris, if you could, for the benefit of folks listening in, give a brief explanation of the SDP program and how these two projects qualify for that.
So this is the surface transportation program that's sponsored by East West Gateway, which is the regional programming. MPO is it's also referred to as. And so there's a pot of money that every year that is awarded to municipalities, and we were awarded 2 of those grants. And it's to enhance pedestrian traffic as well as preserve our streets throughout Kirkwood.
Thank you. I just think we take it for granted that everyone knows every anagram that we.
Understood.
Councilmember Zimmer.
Yeah, and just to pair with that, this STP covers 80% of the costs, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from council? Seeing none, all in favor of first reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Bill 10911.
Mayor and council, this is an ordinance authorizing, directing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission STP Urban Program Agreement for the awarded Surface Transportation Program STP 5502615 South Kirkwood Road Improvement Project. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second? Questions or comments on this bill? Councilmember Gibbons.
So the time frame on this one then would be starting, this one would start when?
This is following the same schedule.
Oh, okay. But they won't be torn up at the same time.
As far as timing within that year, we would make sure that they're not torn up at the same time. Yeah.
Councilmember Wertz.
Want to make a comment off of kind of what Councilmember Ward was saying, this is 10910, this is $3.1 million the city is getting in grants. We just had a proposition fail, and I know a lot of residents were concerned we weren't getting enough grants, but $3.1 million is phenomenal. And I just want to kind of point that out. You guys are doing good work and helping us fund repair of our streets and create. Thank you for that.
Anything else? Seeing none, all in favor of first reading, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Bill passes first reading. Bill 10912.
Mayor and council, this is an ordinance appropriating funds in the amount of $316,203 from the Equitable Sharing Fund balance to the Police Department Machinery and Equipment account, accepting the proposal of Regis Commission in the amount of $316,203 for the initial term of 12 months with maintenance included for the purchase, implementation, and maintenance of a new computer-aided dispatch CAD system, remaining 72 months at rate listed in the cost sheet attached here to and incorporated by reference herein, with the option to renew for up to 3 additional 12-month terms pending budgetary approval, and authorizing and directing the Director of Procurement to issue a purchase order.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
And any questions or comments? Councilmember Gibbons.
Well, the prices were so varied on this. Lois, quite substantial. How can it be that it was so different than the other 3?
I can take a stab at that, although it's probably better if it were the procurement or the police here. But my understanding is that Regis is designed specifically, it was created as an entity in this area, specifically to serve the purposes of the judicial and court systems, and police activity. So they develop their own software, and they're not retail. I mean, that's just, what it comes down to is they're not retail. The other ones are companies that are retail that typically win bids in places where they don't have their own developed software.
Well, we could, if it passes first reading, we'll have a second vote. If maybe you could get just some information.
Yeah, for the, no
For
problem.
the second one is to the,
Mhm.
you know.
The disparity in the price.
Disparity in the bids.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions on this?
I just
Chris
had a
Zimmer.
comment. I talked to Russ about this week, that, this option for 3-year terms, but, hopefully the system will last the city much longer into the future. Thank you, Russ, for that.
And it comes back through the budget process anyway, so, yeah, it's not automatic. Other questions? All right, seeing none, all in favor of first reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Say no. Bill passes first reading. Resolution 8, 2022.
Mayor and Council, this is a resolution amending the cost share agreement with MoDOT for Manchester Phase 1 project in the not to exceed amount of $133,970 for ornamental lighting along Manchester Road within the Kirkwood city limits, and authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an amended agreement.
Is there a motion for approval?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Yes.
Councilmember Sears.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Resolution 9, 2022.
Mayor and Council, this is a resolution authorizing and directing the submittal of a Surface Transportation Program STP application to East-West Gateway Council of Governments for federal funds for the Gravoy Greenway Grants Trail Extension.
Is there a motion for approval?
Move approval.
Second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gibbons,
Yes.
Councilmember Sears.
Yes.
Resolution passes. No consent agenda items. City council reports. Councilmember Gibbons.
I've got a couple of things. First of all, the Special Business District had a meeting earlier this week. And the market is going to be open for winter market for the first time. It's opening on February 3rd. There's going to be a grand opening on Saturday, February 5th, titled Flannel and Fires. So they're going to have fire pits and what have you. Inclement weather date on that is February 12th. The SPD will be having their annual meeting on March 9th in the evening. This weekend is the snowflake sale on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the Route 66 Festival has been set for June 11th. And then to give you an update on Amtrak, and what's been going on, I can't remember what I told you last, so bear with me if I repeat myself. But on December 13th, there's 3 of us that have really been working on this closely. A gentleman, former Senator David Pierce, who is now government relations for Central Missouri State in Warrensburg, and the Director of Visitor and Economic Development from Herman, Tammy Berkerhoff. So the 3 of us have been working on this. So we went and spoke with the Tourism Commission on December 13th. And they were, we presented them with the economic impact of what Amtrak does. And they were really, really excited and thrilled to see this information. And the lieutenant governor was actually there. He's on that commission and he was, I say literally blown away by the economic impact that Amtrak has. You know, we're asking for 12.5 million, but it brings in 22 million in tax revenue a year. So the outlay of what we need. So they wrote a letter to the governor, urging him to give some ARPA funds towards, we need that 2.5 million for that second train, which ended on January 3rd. On January 6th, our group went and met with the governor's staff. We had sent a letter asking for ARPA funds for that 2.5 million, and we were told that they would not be doing that, that they had allocated all those ARPA funds already. Then this week, we were in Jeff City on Tuesday, meeting with the Subcommittee on Transportation. Now, one of the things that's happened with all this, you know, good comes out of all bad, right? So the Missouri Chamber of Commerce is now lobbying on behalf of this, getting the second train, and they will do this from now on in perpetuity, because no one lobbies for it, no one markets it. So now we've got, if anybody knows somebody from the Missouri Chamber, thank them immensely, because they were hugely helpful this past Tuesday. And we are now asking for the Budget Committee and the Appropriations Committee to put in supplemental funding into this year's budget, which they are talking about right now. So we'll see. It's not a dead deal yet. So I'll keep you updated. And then we're on February 2nd, we're actually going to be speaking to talking with them about.
I know you're spending hours and hours and hours, a lot of time and energy. So thank you very much.
Oh, it's an important issue, so.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah. Anything else from council? All right. Chief Administrative Officer report.
I have nothing to report this time, Mayor.
City Attorney report. Nothing to report, Mayor. City Clerk report.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a couple items to report on. First is the report of the January 19th, 2022 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. The following action was taken after a presentation by staff and the petitioner for a zoning code text amendment to add animal training as an accessory use in single-family residential zoning districts. A subcommittee was appointed. The subcommittee meeting will be held at the petitioner's residence at 551 North Clay Avenue on January 25th at 9 a.m. The other item I have to report on are scheduled upcoming public hearings. First, we have a public hearing scheduled for February 3rd for a request for a special use permit for a major animal facility in the Woodbine Center at 455 through 459 South Kirkwood Road. Second, we have scheduled public hearings on February 17th for the fiscal year 2022/23 City of Kirkwood and special business district budgets. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Well, we thank everyone for attending or watching us via streaming. Next meeting of City Council is 7 p.m. on Thursday, February 3rd. This meeting is adjourned.